All right. Good morning. Welcome back. It's now 7 a.m. Actually, 2 minutes past 7 a.m. Good morning. Welcome back to the program. Being a Monday, as usual, it gets exciting because we want to talk about politics and current affairs. How beautiful can that be? It was a fully charged weekend. We talked about football. Somebody lost, some people won, and that is the name of the game. That all depends on the tactics and the strategies that all the coaches and tacticians and the technical bench of different teams actually put to make sure that their teams play their best. That is exactly what also happens in politics. Reasons why I want to talk about the strategies and smart moves in our political arena today. My guests are already in studio. Introduce them shortly, but before then, if you're just joining us, my name is Victor Olo. All right, on the front page of the local dailies, before we get to the discussion, on this Daily Nation, rapists roam free as DCI hunt Gen Z. Rapists roam free as DCI hunt Gen Z. Is it a case of miscarriage of justice? Two rape victims attacked 5 months apart in almost similar circumstances filed complaints at Theta police station in Juja, Kiambu, but their attackers are still free because detectives from the Serious Crimes Unit of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations are preoccupied with tracking down suspected planners of Gen Z protests that the government fears are set for later this month. That is on the front page of the Daily Nation. Still on the front page, Kangata joins Linda Mwananchi as opposition leaders condemn goons. That is on the front page. Yes, that happened yesterday when Linda Mwananchi visited Thika and Githurai. MPs lobbied to enact compromise finance bill. 120 billion shillings is what the bill as published seeks to raise in revenue. Very quickly, on the front page of the Star, tough economy, plunging small businesses into loan reliance. Survey indicates that sector employs over 80% of Kenyans. That is small businesses, SMEs. Opposition quotes Western and Central as Ruto dares his opponents. That is on the front page of the Star newspaper. There is some good news here again. There is some joy at MTRH medical history with its first ever liver surgery. Joy as MTRH celebrates medical history with its first ever liver surgery. Good move there. Okay. And finally, on the front page of the Standard, ID cards auction. ID cards auction. There are several personnel on the front page. I've got Interior Cabinet CS, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, Julius Bitok, former PS Immigration, and Bello Kipsang, PS Immigration, and finally Evelyn Chelogut, Director Central Immigration. And the Standard says that it's exposing a shadowy network through which foreign nationals from Somalia, Ethiopia, Uganda, and other neighboring countries are obtaining Kenyan identity cards for as low as 15,000 shillings. The probe reveals how individuals with questionable backgrounds have acquired the country's most sensitive documents with apparent ease. Yet, senior officials in the Department of Immigration and National Registration Bureau have remained silent, as has Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen. Who is behind the scheme? Who benefits? And what does it mean for national security and the 2027 general election? That is a question being raised by the Standard. Okay. Daniel Orogo, political and governance expert, finally is back after disappearing for decades.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Karibu sana. Can
yeah.
you tell us where you've been?
Yeah, well, I've been around and taking some hoiters, and I think it's important that it's such a refreshing to be back to studio.
Even Jesus rested when he was tired. He rested.
Yeah, I mean, rest is necessary and very important.
Very important.
Especially when we're executing matters of national interest. sometimes the body, the mind, and the soul requires that you take a little bit of rest and recharge. So it's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
And next to you is Christos Watimba, who is political analyst. Engineer, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you as well.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure for me.
Asante
to be
sana.
here.
And Peter Ndungu is also political analyst, the three wise men. Allow me to call you that. You saw this.
Good morning, Kenyans.
Karibu sana,
Thank
Peter.
you for giving me and us another opportunity to come here and have a healthy discussion. Thank you.
The keyword is healthy.
Yes.
Okay. So, gentlemen, here we are. Where do we start? Do you have your ID? All of you, do you have your IDs? So you're all safe?
Yeah.
Okay. Dan, tell us, where have you been? And you said that you've been handling matters of national interest.
You could have asked if Tukokadi, I mean, just obtaining an ID, it is just probably mandatory for Kenyans.
Right.
So I have been around in the campaigns, and like I have stated that I am in the race for the Member of Parliament for Kibra, Victor, for another term. And so the campaigns are taking a toll on myself, and that is required of the time. So you're asking me where I've been on the ground. Those who are saying skiza ground, probably we went back to listen to what the ground requires. Yeah, unapologetically. You asked me where I've been. Yeah.
And rewind again, DJ select. we did hear that.
Yeah.
Kibra constituency is your base.
Yes. I am born and bred in Kibra. That is where for decades I've been uplifting the lives of Kibra people through different community projects and advocacy. So it is my home. It is where I've grew up, and it is where my civic and political activities have been grounded for a decade or so. So it is a pleasure to go back home and talk about matters of civic responsibility, obtaining of ID card that I have been pushing to. And I think maybe in another time we might find time to talk about the issues of the rights to acquire very important documents. You've alluded to that in your newspaper review. That a number of non-documented residents of Kenya are obtaining ID, but the young people are finding it difficult.
That's not the standard.
That's probably. I was very elated when you mentioned the difficulties that the newspaper has accounted to, where the ministry is not really fast-tracking the issues of ID. ID is everything. If you talk about the profile, the issues of getting very vital documents of the national ID, people do not only understand the national ID is not only for voting.
Yeah.
I mean, Victor, it is your passport. It is your pass to so many things. Employment activities. It's for security. It's for travels. So there is a lot of things that are within the ID as an important, vital national document that one should obtain. So I think for now, politicians are just thinking maybe it is for obtaining the voter's card. It is beyond that. It is a lot of things that are obtained in that vital document that most of the Kenyans are finding it difficult to have right now. It is even your heredity to the citizenship of this country. If you don't have it, it means that you're not a resident of the Republic of Kenya who have attained the age to get the ID. So I think we should talk about it and probably find another platform to discuss what is the importance of obtaining of this very important critical document that we have.
Okay. You have that newspaper.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yes.
That's the standard. Yeah. You see that headline?
Yes, I see this headline that they are saying that ID card auction. I have not gone through the details of this story, but said and done is that it's not right if they are not following the right procedure. Though I know that every Kenyan who has been born in this country has a right to get an ID. But if they are going out of that way, then that one should be tamed. But also, from where I sit,
yes.
Sometimes, as you are aware, you are from the other side of the fourth estate. Some of the information which come out is very, very critical and very, very important for us to know that this is coming. But sometimes we have issues with some of the media houses because they come out very strong and with a lot of information, which is critical and very important. What I can say from where I sit is that, can the relevant body do what they are supposed to do? Can the relevant body who are in charge of whatever has been mentioned here implement and follow the law as it has been stated? I will not end by not saying that the last time we were with you here, we had a very healthy discussion concerning the fuel. And today I'm a proud Kenyan and a proud UDA member, Senate aspirant Kiabu County, saying that whatever we promised then, you remember that I was here that very, very, very tough day. It was just, the strike was yesterday, you are here today.
Right.
And we had a very healthy discussion concerning the fuel. You see now, we are going towards the right direction. I've been accused many times that we are promising things which we are not giving to Kenyans. But today, yesterday, it was all out there that our president, and our party leader, UDA, promised that he's going to reduce fuel with 10 shillings more. We were able to implement that. So we are going towards the right direction. That's why I always say here that this country belongs to all of us. Let us stop this thing of blaming each other. What you are supposed to do is join our hands and move forward as a country.
Okay. Crispus, maybe you can also get into that, but let's just jump into it. Gentlemen, we are seeing a lot of moves, and based on our discussion today, the strategies and moves that we are seeing ahead of 2027, the good thing that all of you have experience when it comes to political, moves in the country. How is it right now? Crispus, we didn't see that coming. Irungu Kangata now jumping ship to join the other side of Linda Mwananchi. That is one strategic move. Number two, we also how different camps split over the weekend. 3 days of the united opposition in Western Kenya, and now this other side, we also have Linda Mwananchi in Thika. I would argue that once you get into Thika and back to Githurai, you have already opened the gates into the Mount Kenya region. What do you make of this?
Well, I would like Kenyans to revisit the early 1990s, where Kenya was in a similar situation as today, where the political scenario was divided into three camps. And I'll equate every camp to the current camps we have. So I look at Linda Mwananchi as a camp equivalent to what we used to call the Young Turks.
Yes.
Led by the then James Orongo.
That is YK92?
Yes.
Right?
No. The
Young Turks.
Young Turks of the Mother Karuas, the James Orengo, the Shikuku, those people who are pushing for the second liberation. And you can see now we have Sifuna, we have Babu Owino,
yes.
We have now Faith Odhiambo, we have Kangata joining that part of the camp. So I feel like Orengo is remaking his liberation efforts back to Linda Mwananchi. Then you look at William Ruto. We can only equate him to the then administration of Moi, where the people who had power and they are doing whatever it takes to remain in power at whatever cost, whether it's both political or economic. Then we have the Kalonzos of this world, the Matiangis. These are the Kibakis of the then administration. People who are in the government, now they have left, but they have disagreed with the establishment, but they still want to seek power. So we have these three formations that are seeking to control the state infrastructure in Kenya. And if you remember 1997, those three camps went to the elections. And the then Moi president won. Although with a minority win, he will still remain as president. In 2027, if these three camps went to the elections, definitely William Ruto will be the leader of the first runoff. And most likely, if they go to the second runoff, he will definitely be able to win. So what is concerning many right now is what will be the decision of these three camps if two of them come together before the 2027 general election. And that is why you've seen now people have done their analysis and have realized, for example, the Kalonzo Rigathi camp has the control of the Mount Kenya vote. The Linda Mwananchi and the Ruto camp appear to control what was then Raila Odinga's base and now what was Ruto's base.
Yes.
So that is where now you look at which base in these two camps is in contention, is Western Kenya. Because Luo Nyanza has already pledged his loyalty to William Ruto. North Rift is always obviously pledging his loyalty to William Ruto. But Western Kenya appears to be torn apart these three camps. But Linda Mwananchi and William Ruto appear to control the majority.
Is there anybody
influence.
amongst the group, is there anybody who is comfortable?
Nobody is comfortable, because if you look at the arithmetics, if any of the camps comes out first on the first runoff, it means they will easily be able to convince the rest of the nation to support them in the second runoff. So the margin of difference between one camp and the other in a first race is very minimal. So you need to be able to make sure the difference is very huge.
Yeah.
We're not talking about all of you getting 33%, because I believe most of those camps, that's where they are playing around between 25 and 30. So you need to increase that margin of difference between yourself and the other camp, so that by the time you go to the second race, you have the ability to convince the other camp that you have the numbers to bring on the table to win. So this is what is going to be the biggest conversation over the next 9 months, for which camps to come together. You don't be surprised even if William Ruto is able to form a coalition with one of those camps. That is a possibility. It is politics. There are no permanent enemies. There are no permanent friends. But those are things that we need to watch out and listen to the ground, observe what is happening, and pray that the best of the interest of Kenyans is upheld in terms of the general election.
Dan, your opening remarks, because clearly things are now becoming more apparent.
Well, I think it's interesting that we are making assertion that we are hearing ground, and to that extent, everyone is pulling towards a fitable coalition. At this particular moment, looking where each one of each other's interests align. I think the issue, we would be very, realistically speaking, we would be very vague to say that every of these political coalitions have anything to do with the interest of Mwananchi. I mean, politics is a permanent interest of individuals. It has never been about the citizens. That's the realistic bit of politics that we have in this country. And that's why people don't listen to manifesto. People are drawn towards theatrics and, who can shout more and more and do this and this. I think that is the reality of politics. An ideal of politics is a different thing, Victor. But that as may be, I may want to disabuse the notion that as we speak, it would be very fatal to say that the central Kenya has unanimously say that in all their support are held towards the DCP or the opposition. It would be a political fatal mistake to assume, because we have seen 2 by-elections that has happened, and the UDA has sailed through against every odds. It would also be a political mistake. I've heard my colleagues saying that Luo Nyanza have given their votes or have unanimously, supported William Ruto. I am one of those people who, probably my village is from there, and personally speaking, that is not my view. And to so many people. So it would be very difficult to make statements, that we cannot really agree, or we cannot really surmountably say totally that is the view of majority, or that is the view of everyone in that particular region. And that's why I've started by a disclaimer, by saying that we cannot agree that probably Central Kenya is totally behind DCP or opposition, or Luo Nyanza is totally behind the broad-based government, or no. We have had different views, and that's why I agree with you when you say that, why are we seeing a big numbers of united opposition getting a large coverage in Western Kenya against every odd? Victor, that is something to be surprised about. In the background of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, in the background of the Speaker of the National Assembly, there is a lot of following in that region that are now looking at towards a move where Sifuna is heading that kind of political move.
Right.
It would be very also to say that we're just seeing a lot of political alignment and political shifting. And to one extent, I agree with one of my colleagues that it could be very difficult to say that no one can cross over to any tent. Politics is a game of possibilities, and everything shifts and everything changes. So I'm looking towards, what I'm seeing is a coalition of possibilities, is pushing towards a runoff. And this is there are possibilities that we are going to have it.
Okay.
And mark my words, that we are going to have it. That the united opposition that is composed of, Honorable, Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, Honorable Matiang'i, and the rest, have not really come to declare that they are going to unite with the Sifuna's camp.
Yeah.
Even though you can see a lot of
signs.
A lot of signs.
Yeah.
When Irungu Kangata says that I am joining this coalition because it's the only coalition that unites every tribe in this region, I'm marking his words. He says that when he joins Sifuna's coalition, he sees Luos, he sees Kikuyus, he sees everyone there. But then in his statement, he says that he is asking this coalition to reach out to who? To Honorable Gachagua.
Yes.
You remember those? You remember those statements are on record,
yes, right?
So that's what I'm saying. You can see that the united opposition and Sifuna's camp are probably having a conversation underground to say that for right now we cannot unite, but everyone moves to strengthen their zones, so that we could have a discussion at the end.
Yes.
At the end, probably a pre-coalition or probably post. So I am looking towards, and I can confidently tell you as a political commentator and as an analyst, that no one is confidently going to say that we will have a 50+1 in the first election. Everyone is looking towards a coalition post.
Okay.
Post the election.
I will ask you the reason why, so that you can elaborate further. Why a runoff? Why that is the
It's difficult. It's difficult. The incumbent president cannot have it right now. All mathematics is not working. He can't have it.
Hold that. Incubate it. When you look at Peter, when Irungu Kangata jumped ship from UDA,
Yes.
he kept his cards under wraps. He did not want to, tell people where he was going to go next.
Yes.
We've seen Faith Odhiambo also joining the fold.
Yes.
What are we likely to see? Because when you talk of Irungu Kangata, what are we likely to see next? Because he said anaskiza ground, all right? And we all know how Mount Kenya votes.
Yes. Well, one thing I'll tell you is that during the last general election, as UDA, we were so much prepared to go to election without anybody. We were not seeing any coalition which was to come before the election. But something happened all of a sudden. Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula came. And we found the former governor, the Speaker of Senate, and the other group came. So I'll tell you one thing, that in politics, one day is too much and is so big.
Yeah.
Things will happen here. And the coalition you are trying to say that the united opposition and Leader Monaichi might happen, it might happen the other way around. One of these groups might come to our side of UDA and have a coalition.
Which group?
One of them. One of these group might come. Anything is possible in politics, Victor.
Impossible.
Anything is possible. No, give me time, young man. I give you time. Allow me. Let me tell you. Anything is possible. But also, one thing I'll say is that as the UDA.
Are you quoting anybody? UDA. Is UDA?
As UDA.
Yeah. Who are you quoting?
First and foremost, we are prepared for the elections. And we are sure that we are going to win the election. But also I'm saying this, that anything is possible, and either of the people, even the united opposition, or even in Leader Monaichi, can come and join hands with us. What do you mean, Victor? These things has happened.
I mean, it's not giving us the possibilities.
Don't you remember, Victor? Let me remind you.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is, let's just be real.
What do you mean?
Not any. Let's just be open.
Yes.
Who amongst the two camps is most likely to come to the UDA? We are just analyzing openly.
Now,
Gachagua side?
No.
Leader Monaichi?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. And anything in this country is possible. Because what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I have just given you an example. During the last general election, remember, Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula were so firm in Raila's camp. But something happened. They came out, even the Kingi and the others came to our side, and we joined hands, and we went to election together. So expect wonders. Those things you are not expecting that will happen, and people will join hands in a very, in their own style. And that's why I'm telling you, us from where we sit as UDA, we are sure that we will have coalition with other Kenyans, and we are going to win this election in the first round.
No runoff.
No runoff.
That is this.
Wow. Let me tell you, for this country, up to where we are today, and what we are doing in this country as a UDA, Kenya Kwanza, we are sure that we will join hands with other Kenyans, and there will be no runoff. Yes, I can tell you.
So what are some of the ideological similarities does Linda Mwananchi and UDA have?
At the end of the day, Linda Mwananchi is a group, or is they are political leaders who, at the bottom of their hearts, are willing to transform the lives of Kenyans. UDA, under the leadership of His Excellency William Ruto, at the bottom of our hearts, we are there to transform lives of Kenyans.
And so is United Opposition.
United Opposition are bitter about
This is
whatever
why I'm-
happens. No. Like Gachagua can tell you.
It's tragic.
Let's be very honest. Gachagua is always bitter all the time because
So
he
he
was
doesn't
removed
have
from the
something to
deputy
change the lives of
presidency.
Kenyans.
No, what agenda has they ever told us that they are going to do in this country? They are clueless. They have never given us that we are going to do A, B, C, D. They have never. And that's where you see, even somebody like Kangata, when he feels that he is not comfortable in UDA, he cannot go to United Opposition. He went to Linda Mwananchi. Because Linda Mwananchi and UDA, at the end of the day, our interest is to transform the lives of Kenyans. The other people are bitter because this has never happened to me, I was here, so on and so forth. They don't really tell us what they are going to deliver to this country. So at the end of the day, the people who have the real interest of Kenyans is UDA. We are there, and people can see what we are doing. We are keeping our word. We are implementing our manifesto word by word. I don't have time to explain all the things we have done, but we have done so much. The things which are touching Mwananchi.
So Linda Mwananchi is who will join the other? Linda
Obvious.
Mwananchi.
Who is bigger than the other?
Okay.
Yeah, who is bigger than the other?
So are there secret talks or are there open talks that
I'm not in position to say that. I'm just having my personal views that who are likely people who can join hands.
Okay.
There are people who have the same ideas. The people who are ready to transform the lives of Kenyans. The other group is a group of people who are bitter because this happened to me, the other one was impeached the other day, so on and so forth.
Just a reminder that Linda Mwananchi, quote unquote, is a splinter group within ODM.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So then it means that the other side of ODM will also join hands with the broad-based coalition is going to go to up till 2027. So this is a tactic by ODM itself.
Precisely that. The whole ODM will be on our side. Remember, Linda Mwananchi is a faction of ODM. So our prayers and what we are working towards is to make sure that at the end of the day we are going to work together as one team so that we can be able to transform the lives of Kenyans together.
Director, we take a quick break, right?
Do you need a break?
We need a break. We'll be right back. Christopher, stay with us. Relax. Okay, stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So Dan told me to take a break. Definitely, I took. Yes, welcome back. Daniel Orogo, political and governance expert. Crispus Wathemba is also an engineer and also political analyst as well as Peter Ndungu, who is a political analyst. Okay, so Dan, you wanted to say something. Let me ask this way. There is imminent coalition formalization before 2027, pre or post. Which one basically works best? Pre or post election?
I think it depends. It depends on the winning strategy of any political coalition or their mind to win. You saw what happened in 2013, post 2013 actually, when a number of parties were folded to have one Jubilee party. so many political parties went, asunder and folded their tents and joined. I think that has been that was a strategy for 2017 to avoid a lot of push and people pulling towards different directions. 2022, like what my colleague has alluded to, you saw that there was, different political Azimio, worked with a number of parties to come together. Kenya Kwanza equally, drew a lot of political parties. That's when Musalia and, Wetangula and a number of governors folded their camps to join in and form a Kenya Kwanza coalition to run against Azimio coalition. So I think that was a pre-election pact that worked for them or against them. What we are discussing now is with different optics. And how I wish that any, politician would read the signs of times. A number of issues have changed, including the number of vote uptake from the young people through the voter registration drive dubbed Nikokadi, where millions of young people obtained their voter's card. And these are people who are coming in the ballot with grievances. Mark my words, with grievances. And some of them are saying that probably if the streets were not achieving the objective, then they would express that through the ballot. So I think that is one of the objectives, that is one of the dynamics that each and every political faction should be reading. Now, onto the hot issue, the hot potato of coalition building. And I had, my colleagues talking about the possibilities of who crosses over where and how.
Yes.
And I think we are discussing it over break and saying that what I have been seeing happen. In my queue, I was in the presidential campaign team for Musalia in 2022 as a young person, as the presidential campaign. And so I knew exactly the conversation that was happening post-crossover, even before. And that's why I'm saying you could read the mood of the times. If you use that analogy to analyze what could happen in 2027, then I think probably we are not raising the changes. So any coalition, any politician who is in a coalition, any politician who has served the regime, who knows what power is, according to my colleague Crispas was talking about as we were on break, is probably the one that can cross over, not these young thugs that you're seeing. So to disabuse this notion that the camp of Honorable Gachagua, the camp of Honorable Kalonzo and Eugene Wamalwa and the rest, or even Fred Matiang'i, cannot work with government, that is a political immature statement. In fact, that is what can happen. Because
the unthinkable.
The unthinkable can happen in this tent. And I can tell you, those heavyweights, political heavyweights, knows what to be in power means. Knows what to be in government means. All of them have been cabinet secretaries, right? All of them, most of those guys in those camp. When you look at this camp, few of them have been governors, senators, cabinet secretaries, even except Orengo, who's been, a number of these young thugs have not really been in government as technocrats, as cabinet secretaries. So it would be very mature to think that Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, if push come to shove, are not the ones that could go, or they are bitter, or probably their bitterness is to draw the attention of a political authority.
Would that really swayed? Would that really swayed the minds of the voters?
That could be the... And
somebody would argue that he's only just one voter, but he has a constituency.
That's what I'm saying. Is to draw the constituency intact to him, so that could be a bargaining chip. Sometimes it happens to be unthinkable. The things that you think that cannot happen is unthinkable. It can happen. So I think that is one notion that I just wanted to disabuse. That if there is any camp that can cross over, it is that camp, not these young thugs that you're seeing. Number two, let me also see this, that you've seen governors taking positions, and Irungu has been very strategic. This is a man that started as an MCA. This is a man that went to a senator, and this is a man that went to a governor. He and Honorable, I could point a few people who are politically conscious and very clever. Him and Honorable, the governor of Nairobi. You have seen their political, steps.
Yes.
They are always very strategic to know where they are going to be and where the voters are. So to that, I can tell you that he knows. He has his own calculations in the table, he has his numbers in the table, and he has his legacy on the table and knows his political future. So every direction he takes, he's one man that I look and really watch his political moods always. Because wherever he made that political moves, he is right. He knows where it is. He knows where the government is going to be. So I think for me, that is where, for now, and by the way, Victor, there are a number of political candidates, presidential candidates. I have once seen that Honorable Martha Karua has been on the table as well. I've once seen Honorable CJ Emeritus, who've gone out of the country luring votes and talking to voters, is on the table as well. So let not one lie to us. This is a long game of chess.
Okay.
And we might not know where it will lie. So probably I insist that no one has the capacity to obtain and to win in one voter's ballot, just one round. It is impossible. The numbers are not adding up.
Crispus, I want us to go back to 15th of October last year. So Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga bows out. Things dramatically changed, and what we are seeing right now began immediately. That happened in black and white. We are seeing fractions in ODM. We are seeing opposition realignments and Linda Mwananchi factor also splitting from ODM. Although when you ask the ODM insiders, they say that ODM is intact. Fine. It seems that history is going to repeat itself come 2027. And why am I saying so? Dan has insistently said that the unthinkable might just happen. We never saw Raila Odinga shaking hands with Uhuru Kenyatta. The handshake that we talk about up till to date, we didn't see him having a coalition, broad-based government with President William Ruto. Here we are today until 2027. So should Kenyans just expect the unthinkable to be the norm after all then?
I mean, the history of Kenya can always tell us what we can expect in future. And we have always imagined that certain people we see in politics taking very strong stands, they will always remain that strong forever. We have seen people make U-turns that are unthinkable.
Yes.
And we have come to accept those U-turns and moved on as a country. Never did anybody imagine Raila doing handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta despite the acrimonious elections that we had gone through in 2017. No one would have imagined Ruto impeaching Gachagua despite the various statements he made saying he cannot do to his deputy what he was done for. So changes in politics in Kenya are things we need to be ready for. And what my colleague has said, that the unthinkable can happen, is very possible. Because if you look at the so-called united opposition or the alternative government coalition, whatever they are asking for is something Ruto can give them with one statement. He can say, let's go back to NHIF, let us go to Linda Mama, let us put more money in education, let us remove Murkomen as the interior CS, let me give you a post as the CS of education, let me remove the CS for treasury and do away with the taxes. It's very simple for William Ruto to say, this potato is so hot for me, I want to bring you guys to help me take care of this country, and I'll give you whatever you want, as long as you assure me that I'll be president of 2027 up to 2032. It's very simple.
Okay.
So the possibility of a U-turn from the Gachagua camp is very easy. And Gachagua will be told, as a part of the arrangement, we will work on your impeachment matter. So that in 2032, you'll have the possibility to run. And that's a boardroom discussion. It does not require Wanjiku and me to be consulted. And they will go to the media and they will convince Kenyans that this is the best interest for the country. And 6 months down the line, most of us will sing that tune and will agree, because at the end of the day, our economic well-being will improve, fuel prices will come down, things will look very nice, the international community will say nice things about us, and we'll be very happy as a country.
What are you trying to say?
Because I want to remind you,
because
in 2002,
Wanjiku is listening.
In 2032, in 2002,
yes,
the Saitotis and Kalonzos of this world were hell-bent on their position. But it took a last-minute decision by Raila Amolo Odinga to convince them that this is the only way out for them to get power. Despite being them aware that 70% of Kenyans didn't like Moi and Moi's candidate, they were still bent in a divided opposition. But it took a last-minute decision of someone to push them. So even this Rigathi Gachagua Kalonzo's arrangement, somebody will come and tell them, boys and girls, this is the only way. Because if we don't let a coalition with Ruto, this Linda Mwananchi may not help us, may even put this country in more chaos than we are in today.
So this is all about strategy and interest.
Strategy.
Okay, that's what I wanted you to tell me.
And that is actually, I just wanted briefly, that is tested on the recent court ruling. Exactly what Crispus is talking about. Never in history of any judicial process have we had judiciary exonerating itself on pronouncing matters of the Constitution and adopting the political doctrine issues in the ruling. Never in history have you heard that a court, instead of annulling election, I mean, an impeachment process that went through a house, decided to award. You know, Victor, when you are awarded damages, it means that you are exonerated. Like somebody ruled that your rights were violated. So if you are awarded 50 million, it seems that the judiciary is acknowledging that the process in itself was flawed. So if you award someone 50 million, and then, but you are not specific that you are barring this person to run, for any elective positions in future, you are putting the country for a political discussion. And I agree with what Crispus is saying. So we are testing. There is a test to whether, can I give you this so that I hear how you respond to it?
Yes.
So I think there's so many things that as Mwananchi, we should, there is a lot that is happening, that we should be looking at.
Peter?
Yes.
The smart moves are the strategies. You people, you just... Okay, that's why I called you the three wise men. The thing is, we are also trying to see the voter outreach. Okay?
Yes.
Western Kenya has become, quote unquote, that beautiful lady Dan would be running after to court.
Yes.
And with 2.6 million votes, let's paint a picture. We have Bungoma, Trans Nzoia, Kakamega, Vihiga, and Busia, 5 counties.
5 counties.
It is only amongst the 5 counties which has always given the opposition or the government a good, clean block of votes.
Yes.
That is Busia.
Yes.
Bungoma County.
Bungoma,
What are you trying to say? Because now we are seeing even the speaker has gone out. Most of the time is there. We are seeing the likes of Farouk Kibet. We've seen a number of brigades from that side camping in Western region. Okay? I want you to answer this question. What is going to be the general outcome? There is no clear winner in 2027. Mount Kenya is, as somebody would say, is gone. Crispus said that Nyanza is in the box. Dan says no. So the beautiful lady is here.
Yes,
2.6 million votes.
One thing I would like to agree with the engineer here is that anything is possible in this political space.
Right.
You remember the Kibaki's first term election, the likes of the late Kamotho joined hands with Kina Rairas and Kibaki's. That was not expected at all. So anything is possible in this country. And from where we sit as UDA, we are ready for anybody. And we are working towards that in all the camps, because at the end of the day, the most important thing as far as 2027 is concerned is for us to win election and continue delivering to Kenyans. Simple and clear. And the same thing is applying to all the other coalitions. And everybody at the end of the day is asking him or herself, I need to be, for example, let me use the quotes the Honorable Senate for Siaya, Oburu, saying that he needs to be in power. Everybody needs to be in power at the end of the day. So what is the easiest route for me to be in that table? Because let me tell you, the most important thing for me engineer here and him, is that at the end of the day, one, as much as you want to serve the great county of Kiambu as a senator, I also want to belong to a wing which is in power. So us as UDA, we are working towards that, and we are more than, and that's why I can quote that last weekend you saw His Excellency the President was in Western Kenya, and the other worthy competitor also were in Western Kenya, and everybody is trying to convince the 5 counties. You saw the President saying that us as UDA, we have given the five counties 100 billion for affordable housing, among others. So everybody, what you should expect going forward is that if each and every coalition will be using their own strategies to make sure that they owe these votes. Western Kenya for the longest has never delivered the whole amount of votes to one coalition, because we saw it even during Moi's time, we saw it during the Kibaki's time, we saw it during Uhuru's time, we even saw it during the Kenya Kwanza. You remember even the William Ruto got his share there. Yeah. And through the Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula, and even if they were there, no matter how powerful they are, the community doesn't deliver all their votes in the same basket. So what everybody is looking at is at least to get half or even slightly higher than half. Because you agree that Western is very difficult for them to put their votes in the same basket. Because each and every sub-tribe has their own way and interest. And they have their own reader. You might assume that Musalia is their reader. No, Musalia has his own sub-tribe. Wetangula and the others. Everybody has their own rights. That when I start from here in Kakamega, then these are my people. When I stand here at Bigoma, these are my people. So what we are expecting, and going forward, everybody will be going out there. And let me tell you, even Mount Kenya region is not gone. We are also, because at the end of the day, we want to be in government. And we want somebody who will take us there. And from where I stand, I feel that maybe UDA is the best place where I stand myself. I feel that this is the right track. This is where we should be, because we want to transform the lives of our people. Then the other person, on the other hand, feel that on this camp, this is where I'm comfortable. So the time is there. For the next 9 months, as engineer stated earlier, we will be going out there. Like yesterday, in one of the Kiambu County there, as I was going to look for votes, there's one of our senior chief who rested, may God rest his soul in eternal peace, Senior Chief Bogwa Mutora. Accidentally, we met with my leader of majority. And we were echoing the same sentiment, because now this is a very, very critical time where even you as a person, me as Peter, as much as I'm looking for UDA, I'm also looking for my own votes. Because at the end of the day, I need to be the same government, and I need my party to be in power. So this is a very, very critical moment for every one of us. The players in political arena. This is a very critical time, and people are making their moves. You saw Kangata, what he did. He believed that whatever he did was the right move. You saw Orengo, what he has done. He believed that is what is right for him. You saw Akinawanga, what they have done. They believe that is... You saw what me, myself, I have done. I'm studying in Mount Kenya region with UDA, Senate seat, Kiambu County. I believe that's the right move. So, in the next 9 months, we have to work extra hard to achieve our goals.
Okay. Dan, message discipline is quite important. When making your political moves and strategy, what message do we have from Leader Mwananchi, United Opposition, and the ruling coalition?
I think it's clear, and also the message that we have from the Kenya Kwanza administration. Right. So I think it could be quite interesting. So I see, for Linda Mwananchi, I see a generation that is, young generation that is rising.
From their body language and their moves.
Yeah, it is a coded message to, to expose the grievances. Is to appeal to young people. Because when somebody says Mimi ni Sifuna and everyone identifies with the movement, they are saying that they embody, and normally is, you've seen Sifuna moving with the t-shirts branded Raila. Yeah. There's always Raila's image, wherever he walks to. And for him is a carrier of legacy. For him, he's saying that he identifies with the man who actually mentors him. For him, he's actually communicating that is the right wing of ODM. That is where Baba would have been. And that is why he moves around. And
why is that t-shirt important?
I mean, what does it see? Because when people see, they see Raila's image.
It's a constant reminder.
It's a constant reminder that for him, because you're asking me about political messaging, for him it has been very constant with the Kenyan flag and with Raila's t-shirts. That is a very, very important statement to young people, and especially people who believed on the ideals of
And not just a t-shirt,
Raila.
it's a white t-shirt.
It's a white one with Raila's image.
Yeah.
You saw that image that was there when he passed on. So I think for him and the rest, who I hope that the rest that is in that camp, believes what Sifuna is always saying that he believes in. That for him was a legacy. He keeps saying that nobody knew Baba than him. I think he keeps on saying this, it's on record, that he knows what Mzee really wanted and where he could have been. So I think that is a message for him, and for Linda Mwananchi being the stalwart and Orengo's stamp of authority.
Yeah.
For him, Orengo is the stamp of authority to legitimize that particular process, Victor. So for them, I think is a movement of continuation of legacy, is a movement of a generational shift. Now, for Wanga's camp is definitely to retain, the status quo for them, and having Oburu on his camp, and they deal that this is where Raila is. This is where the family, the family's continuation, the hereditary politics of Mzee's, wish. So that is why I agree that you could actually see an ODM that is communicating different things. An ODM, a continuation of a generational legacy.
Yes.
In an ODM of a status quo. For Wanga and Oburu's camp this is where Raila wanted us to be. This is the camp where he left us and to be. But I think for the united opposition, it's quite clear for them that they are actually technocrats and cabinet secretaries and people who served the government before. Who believes and who knows what it takes in public service, who knows what it takes to run a government, because they have been with experiences before. Theirs might not be appealing to young people, and this is what I keep on saying. These are people who are over 50 years old, and when young people are looking at them, they are saying, what is the difference of Rigathi and Kalonzo with Ruto? What could be the difference? It's difficult for young people to identify what is the difference of a united opposition with the current government.
As you continue that.
So I think, and that's why I said, Victor.
Just a minute. As you continue that, which party or which wing is a decoy party here?
A decoy party?
Right. Or wing.
It's difficult for me to understand, because I think the generation is for them to, everyone, and I agree with what the senator was talking about. Everyone for them is a strategy. What works? What is befitting that would draw a constituency of voters towards the ballot? And that is why I summed up by saying, I foresee a conversation that will unveil after the election, when we will have that no one has reached the 50 plus 1%. There is a possibility. There is a possibility, and you've seen a lot of simulations. They are taking one person from United Opposition and putting them together with Sifuna's camp. You saw posters of Kalonzo and Sifuna recently. So there's a testing. There's a testing of what works, what camp can people identify with. And the issue is, when you put Sifuna and Kalonzo, where do you leave Matiang'i? All right? Now with the ruling, and the government has done something very interesting to use the judiciary to put up, to spring a span on the wire. That now, regarding Gachagua, there's a possibility, because if he's awarded 50 million, then the court says that probably we do not see anything that bars you from running. So that field is muddy, because regarding this thing is saying that there's a possibility of him also going, because the court did not find any fault on him by awarding him. So I think it's a murky waters as we move by. And here is Karua, here is Maraga, here is Jimmy Wanjigi. Look at it from that point.
Wow. Okay. Crispus, look, again, let's come back to 2032. 2027 and 2032. Western is being told, Fanya hivi 2032, you're going to get this. Politics is all about keeping the faith and keep giving them that hope. Do you think this purchase is working?
I think one thing that is very clear from the arithmetics
Yeah.
that have come, even all the polls that have been done over the last few months, is that clearly the Western Kenya vote is very critical in making the next president of the Republic of Kenya. None of the front runners have the ability to make themselves president without forming a coalition with the Western Kenya bloc, because these other blocks, they cannot guarantee you power. William Ruto right now has North Rift, Luo Nyanza, and the tyranny of minorities, the small communities that come together and are aligned with him. Then we have Kalonzo, Rigathi, Matiang'i, the cousins coming together with their so-called maybe 5 million, 6 million votes. Then we have Linda Mwananchi. In the 2022 elections, over 8 million young people never voted. And there's somebody who is required this time around to convince these young people that they must vote. And the only person who has demonstrated that ability is Sifuna, through the Linda Mwananchi. And that is a very important political player in the 2027 election, to make sure that the young people show up to vote. If they don't show up to vote, William Ruto or the other side will have the game at their hand to win. So Sifuna is very important because he cuts a hole across the country in terms of mobilizing young people, regardless of tribe. And number two, he also has a strong influence in Western Kenya. So in addition to him bringing the young people and bringing Western Kenya to the table, not 100%, but a sizable block of Western Kenya, he is able to negotiate for a good place. And that's why it's most likely that whatever coalition will go, whether if it's a two-horse race, the running mate will be from Western Kenya, which now assures Western Kenya of a possibility of running for president in 2032. Yes. So if that is promised and is a message that is delivered to the masses of Western Kenya, then we can be assured that Western Kenya has its place in the presidency beyond 2032.
Okay. Peter, I'm trying to wrap my hand around this. We are talking about gentlemen here. Dan also talked about Martha Karua. We are not seeing our good ladies putting themselves in the ring.
You know, sometimes history teaches a lot of things, and sometimes history repeats itself. You remember last general election, Martha Karua was running mate for the late Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And as far as the ladies of this country is concerned, let's talk about that voting bloc. We did not feel it, honestly speaking. Because if that voting bloc supported her, then things could have been different. You saw even at her home place there at Kirinyaga, there was no support at all. So that line doesn't add up as far as politics is concerned.
The reason why I asked that question is now that there is another constituency of voters left behind. They are not at the forefront. But now the winning team or the most strategic campaigner or candidate will go back to them. That's why I brought that. We don't have strong female candidates running for that position. I don't know where the likes of Raslin went to.
Now, one thing which will happen, and that's what I have just stated here, is that we might not be able to specifically say today that this coalition or the other coalition is going to win this election. It's too early. Because all what I know is that among the three political, what do you like call them? Camps. Everybody is working very hard. Me, I can confirm that from where I stand at UDA. Yes, I just confirmed to you that we just met with majority leader somewhere, which was not even planned. Me, I was working, he was working. We are trying to talk to the people, and I know the same thing is happening even to all the other camps. So it's too early to say that this coalition or the other will win. But from where I stand, me, myself, I'll still campaign and hope and pray that may my camp, the UDA, win this election. But also, we are open to coalition with everybody, anybody. Maybe the Leader Mwananchi is still welcome, and the other United Opposition is still welcome. Because at the end of the day, as I have told you, the most important thing as far as these politics are concerned, even our regions are concerned, no, I am sure that we don't have any region in this country which want to be in opposition. That's what I can assure you. Because at the end of the day, when you're in government, there are so many benefits which you reap from the government. Today, as a result of Kiambu County being in government, we are enjoying so much development. And we will not like a situation whereby tomorrow we are going to be in opposition. That's why I'm telling you, the way the arithmetics are happening, you might be so surprised that people are ready to come into table and agree and have a winning formula. And at the end of the day, I'm so sure with the history and whatever you have seen from Dr. William Ruto, I know he's working on a strategy whereby he's going to work with other Kenyans and retain this power until 2032.
Between now and December, what are you predicting?
Between now and December, we might not have a lot of moving from here to here. The movement will start
by what you're seeing right now.
Okay, remember, some of these members of parliament and members of Senate, they are somehow handicapped because they can't be able to move like 100%. You saw the other day, the senator for Nyandarua, Medhu, was pronounced as Secretary General for DCP, but he can't take over. His name cannot be taken to register a political party. So also what I'm expecting right now is that there'll be a lot of shift. You saw what Kangata did yesterday. We are expecting so many shift from whichever side to move from this to the other.
Okay, let's go step by step, and I'll come to you, the gentleman. So what I'd like to see when it comes to Mount Kenya, for example, let's start with that.
Mount Kenya region, we are expecting some shift from UDA to the other side, to the other camp. We are also expecting other people from the DSP and the Jubilee to come to UD. So we are expecting a lot of crisscrossing. I'll call them crisscrossing. Because you saw even Nyandarua the other day, the people who are very, 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 very vocal as far as DCP is concerned, today they are campaigning with UDA. The other people who are very, very vocal on the side of UDA, today they are campaigning with Jubilee and the DCP of Karau. So I'm expecting a lot of crisscrossing. People who feel that I'm not comfortable here are ready to go this way. The other people who feel that they are not comfortable. So crisscrossing will be there in Mount Kenya region. Yes, expecting it in a very big way.
Crispus, between now and December, are you crisscrossing?
No, me, I'm at UDA, Kenya Kwanza. I'm comfortable here. I have done all my math. Okay, a wise man keep on changing his or her mind. But when I do my mathematics, up to now, I'm still firm in UDA.
So you're, okay. I want to say something, but it's okay. So what are you trying to see between now and December? Because once December we hit January 1st, it's all turbo on.
You see, for anybody to win the election of 2027, there are two things they must have. They must have the numbers and the resources. So if you look at the camp for William Ruto, they have the resources and a substantial number of votes, given the state machinery that he controls at the moment. When you go to Linda Mwananchi, they have the numbers, but they have not come out strongly to show Kenyans who is backing them in terms of resources. And that's the many questions Kenyans are asking. These people might be easily bought because they don't have the resources. Then we go to the Kalonzos and the Matiangis of this world. These are people who come with very good skills in terms of running government. From the Matiangis of this world and the Kalonzos of this world, who have been in the system for a very long time. So they know how to, the machinery of government operates. And they also have the ability to mobilize resources. They have friends in good places to mobilize resources. The only challenge they have is that the numbers that we perceive them to have are not numbers that you can really hold on to. These are numbers that can be swayed here and there. So therefore, the possibility of a coalition with another camp is very important to them. They are the ones who are actually looking for a camp to work with, because they have a position where, yes, we can be able to run government, we can bring resources, but we don't have the numbers. We don't even have the appeal to the masses that can make people wake up and vote. So this is a question.
Who has the Gen Z? Who has the Gen Z in mind?
The person with the Gen Z obviously is Sifuna. Okay, he is able to move that group of people to vote. Not even William Ruto at the moment can be able to move Gen Zs to vote. Not even Rigathi Gachagua or Matiang'i. But Sifuna can be able to do that. What Sifuna lacks is the resources and the skills. Once he has power, the ability to run government. He is not backed by people. We can say now, if I give him this docket, they'll be able to do the following. So the question is, what kind of arrangement can we have in terms of the government of a coalition? For example, if we say Kalonzo is president and Sifuna is deputy president, where do you put Matiang'i? Where do you put Mother Karua? Where do you put Rigathi Gachagua? So that arrangement, how it will be crafted, will determine that kind of a coalition. If it comes to Ruto, if he brings Kalonzo in power, where does he place Matiang'i? Where does he place Mother Karua? In that arrangement, where does he place Rigathi Gachagua?
Interesting. Because
that kind of formation will have to be convincing to Kenyans to be able to say that we are able to work with these people.
Thank you.
Who will lose, for example, in Ruto's coalition with others? Who will lose? If Kindiki loses in this coalition, and there is no Central Kenya person in his deputy, the possibility of Central Kenya coming to Ruto might be challenged.
Thank you.
Are you understanding?
Thank you. My director says that time is up. Dan, we know how we do this. In 30 seconds, I know. Kindly.
All right. The by-election in Old Kalau, it's an interesting by-election to watch because that would determine a lot of things again. So we are looking towards if the DCP loses this by-election again,
that's it.
Then that's it. The optics. If for the first time, if they're going to win, then there is a sigh of relief that indeed the party is gearing itself. I see a lot of political shiftings, of course. There'll be a lot of political concentration in three main regions: Luo Nyanza, Central Kenya, and Western. These are, you are going to see a lot of concentration of politics along them. But let me condemn the issue of Goonism, because we've seen this happening a lot of time. So I am here to just say that we need an open country, and the Honorable C.J. Maraga is going to give a State of the Nation address tomorrow at Fungamano.
Thank you.
So I think it could be quite interesting to invite all of us to listen to. He's gone in the 43 counties, but I think he now wants to tell the nation what he learned. So Victor,
thank you.
Everyone is invited to listen to that address.
Asante sana. All right, Daniel Orogo, wish you all the best. And Kibra people, he's here.
Sure.
We need to remind you, he's here. Asante sana. He's been here with us for a very long time. All the best. Chris Pastor Thimba, asante sana. He's an analyst and a governance expert, as well as Peter Ndungu. We all sure wish you the best in
Thank you very
County.
much. Yeah.
Go for it. That's where men are.
I tell you that we believe in results and progress.
Thank you.
That is the Kenya Kwanza government.
Asante.
Let's support it and
when we get
continue
there,
to
make sure you
deliver.
work for us.
Yes, we will, definitely.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. A quick wrap. The game ended today. Sweden beat Tunisia 5-1. Sweden beat Tunisia 5-1. Do you know who scored? 59th minute? My namesake, Victor Yokeris, Arsenal. Have a good morning.